that case.
How many people that you saved have you saved? Wait, never mind. Does your thing really stand for hope?
Yes, it does.
But it looks like an S.
Yes, it's meant to. It's meant to wind like a river. It comes and goes.
What's the best thing about planet Earth?
There is no hope in this world anymore. Not when that face is staring right back at you. I've seen bad films in my time, but none of them have ever emotionally, physically abused me like this one has. Does God exist? How could he allow such a tremendous piece of— Hello!
Oh, my eyes! Oh, I haven't seen. Oh, God, it's so bright!
It's so bright, it's brighter than his future.
Jesus Christ, what the hell are you?
Who, me? Well, I'm you, but I come from an alternate universe where I happen to be directed by Joss Whedon.
What the f does that even mean?
And in our universe, instead of having those nasty pubic hairs on our lip, we have them digitally replaced.
But I don't know who the hell you think you are, but you need to leave my house right now. Oh shit.
So now you'll listen.
Okay, what do you want?
I want you to review the film Justice League.
What? No, I'm not gonna sit through that hell again for a second time.
Oh, you don't want to cooperate with me? Oh, maybe now you will.
No, not my babies, please don't.
So the tables have turned now.
Fine. All right. I'll do it. Just sit over there, please.
I'll just sit over next to your pathetic collection so I can be even more of a threat to you.
Alright, well, I have a lot to say. And the main thing I need to say is,
Justice League sucks. I'm going to be honest. Before this film, the DC films have never bothered me that much, despite the fact that a good chunk of them are total shit. I actually liked Man of Steel when it first came out. I know it's not good, but frankly I think it's better than most of the other DC films. Batman v Superman was dog but at least I found some enjoyment out of some of the scenes in the film. Suicide Squad, well, yeah, that has no redeemable qualities. Wonder Woman, although very bland and kind of forgettable, had some good moments and was a huge step up for DC. But this piece of crap is just awful. Terrible. I struggle to find any redeeming qualities about this film because there is none. Okay, I'm being hyperbolic, but there are some decent or at least competent scenes. So let's just go through them before I let my rage out. The things I liked. Wonder Woman's introduction in this film, although filled with plot holes.
Why the hostages?
You're too late. The countdown's already begun. In a few minutes, 4 city blocks.
Is actually well shot and pretty entertaining. She busts through these doors like the badass she is and kicks everyone's asses. And she just looks awesome doing it. Made me quite excited to see more of her in the film, only to be very disappointed to find out she does nothing but mope over how she lost her boyfriend in her film. Character development, anyone? I liked most of the heroes in this film too. Mostly Cyborg and Flash. Cyborg, ironically, was the most human out of the bunch. The actor who played him actually did his best to bring the character to life. I kind of liked the Flash. He was quirky and fun, and some of the visual gags involving him were pretty funny. Well, most of them anyway. Some of the shots in this film are really cool to look at. The one that comes mostly to mind is like that one. Yeah, this one. And that's mostly thanks to Zack Snyder. Yeah, that's about it. Okay, let's go on to the review now. The plot. Okay, let me give you a quick synopsis of the film, alright? When the Destroyer of Worlds, Steppenwolf, gains access to the unlimited power of the energy cubes called the Mother Boxes, Bruce Wayne, Batman, initiates a superhero recruitment effort to defeat the unprecedented threat to Earth. Joining Bruce's dream team are himself, Superman, Cyborg, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, and The Flash. Sounds about right, huh? Well, guess what? It's the same exact synopsis of the first Avengers film, but with all the names and characters switched out. Justice League is almost a carbon copy of the Avengers. Think about it. A dude with a pointy weapon and a horned helmet is sent to Earth by an ominous threat who we will later see in future installments, with a faceless army to find a magical box that can destroy the world. The arrival of this horny helmeted foe raises suspicion of certain powerful individuals. They unite for the first time only to realize that they hate each other. After their little petty squabble, they come to realize that in order to save the world, they must put aside their differences and unite to defeat the horny helmeted foe and his faceless army. Oh, and they're both directed by Joss Whedon. The opening scene of this movie is weird and has nothing to do with the rest of the movie. Two kids approach Superman who just saved people from a burning building, and they start asking stupid questions that no one really cares about. I wasn't really paying attention to this scene, honestly. I was too distracted by how awful Henry Cavill looks in this scene. I don't know why, though. I can't quite put my finger on it. The scene feels so out of place. It's almost as if they, filmed this afterwards and just added in last minute. Oh, wait! Then we randomly cut to Batman, stopping the guy from Mindhunter, who we know nothing about and we will never see again. He captures him for some reason, and then a thing shows up. Batman fights the thing, and it looks like a fucking PlayStation 4 game. But the thing is, those look better than this. Like, this looks like shit. Then the thing blows itself up, and Batman goes away. What? Why is this scene important? There is no tension throughout this whole scene. For the most part, it was poorly shot. It does a really shitty job setting up the plot for the film. It doesn't have a point. The scene does not need to be in the movie. In fact, it feels like it was filmed and added in way late into post-production. Oh, wait! Then we get a title card, followed by a montage of the whole world mourning Superman's death. Does this film think we forgot that almost half the world hated Superman? Is it just going to forget that ever happened? Because I sure don't. I remember that clearly. Did they seriously just compare Superman to David Bowie and Prince? We then cut to the first action scene in the movie, and it's the Wonder Woman action scene I mentioned before. It's pretty good. A group of terrorists go into a museum and plan to detonate a bomb, claiming that will blow up 4 city blocks. But then Wonder Woman comes in and saves the day! And all the schoolgirls! Yay, Wonder Woman, you my hero! She throws the bomb in the air and... That's a small explosion. That's not 4 city blocks. Wait, hold on! Just because you throw a briefcase in the air does not make the explosion smaller. It would have still destroyed the f***ing museum and everyone in it. And all 4 city blocks! And plus, how is 4 city blocks gonna take you back to the Stone Age, the Dark Ages?
This is man's best hope. Down with the modern world. Back to the Dark Ages.
That makes no sense! We go back to Batman, who is looking for Aquaman in wherever this place is. Batman goes into this pub and looks at a convenient drawing of Aquaman and of the 3 boxes of doom, and immediately finds out who Aquaman is and everything about him.
Can you at least point me to Atlantis?
Aquaman basically tells Bruce to screw off, but throughout this whole scene, Aquaman keeps calling Bruce as Batman. In front of everyone!
Dressed like a bat. You're out of your mind, Bruce Wayne.
And Bruce doesn't even give a shit! After that scene, Bruce gets on his jet and shaves his beard with his favorite shaving brand shaver, Gillette. See, if you use Gillette, you can look as sexy as Batman. Oh boy. So Bruce is on his plane and Alfred just gives us the Flash's and Cyborg's whole backstory.
Barry Allen of Central City. He's completely off the grid. Moves suddenly and often.
Disappearing act.
But he does visit his father in prison for murdering his mother. Young Barry always protested his father's innocence, but he was 9 and nobody listened to him. A Victor Stone, genius IQ, football scholarship to GCU, and deceased.
This whole conversation is just exposition that I would have much rather seen than been told. But that would have gone over the 2-hour runtime, and Warner Bros. Didn't want that. We're now introduced to the Flash, who's visiting his dad in prison and being a dick to a dick stereotype.
What, you got a problem?
No, there's no problem.
Better not be.
Then we get a scene with Barry and his dad, which kind of sucks, and is trying way too hard to be emotional. Like, I don't care.
I want you to make your own future. Living in the past. Make your own future.
Open gate!
Then we go to Cyborg's 2-minute character development scene. And honestly, it's so boring, I could care less about it. That's one of the problems this movie has. It tries so hard to set up 3 new different characters and a villain in a way to get them all joined together in the span of 2 hours. That's not enough time. DC is doing the opposite of what Marvel did, which was make solo movies for their characters, then make a team movie. DC, what they're doing is making a team movie, then 5 other solo movies for their characters. And that's stupid. Remember what happened last time they tried to make a team movie with 5 different characters we never been introduced before? But yeah, Cyborg's pretty likable, I guess. If only he was given something to do for the rest of the film. I'm sorry, but I just can't go on without saying it, but Cyborg looks like a red laser pointer wrapped around tinfoil. I mean, just look at this costume design. It's awful! It's terrible! Ugh! But don't worry, we'll get to the special effects later. Then we go to Wonder Woman's homeworld. Oh my god, look at that green screen. Oh, it's so bad!
You know, this looks like this looks like the Windows 95 screensaver.
So in this scene, we meet the main baddie, Steppenwolf. He teleports to their box and... Oh my god, he looks awful. Oh no, it's going to be a CGI fight scene in front of a green screen. Ugh! Oh my god, what is happening? Stop with the quick cuts, I can't tell what's going on! Okay, no, we're skipping this. We'll get to the special effects in another chapter. So Wonder Woman's mom messages Wonder Woman by this fire thing saying, yo, that Loki-looking mother is coming and wants to destroy the world. And Wonder Woman's like, oh shit, we gotta assemble the I mean the Justice League. Then there's a conversation between Lois Lane and Mama Kent. The acting and dialogue in this scene is so cringe that I had to turn away when I was watching it in the theater. It was like so unbearable.
Clark promised me you were going to bring home another Pulitzer.
Oh, did he?
Oh, yes, he did. He said that you were the thirstiest young woman he ever met. Hungriest.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this is so bad. Okay, so then Wonder Woman explains to Bruce who Steppenwolf is and what his motives are.
They called him Steppenwolf, the end of worlds. He lived only to conquer. Millions fell before his blade, and rose again as its parademons, nightmare creatures who feed on fear. Some say it drove him mad, the disgrace of his first retreat. He swore our alliance would crumble, the darkness would cover the earth, and that he would return when it did.
Okay, there are 2 problems with this whole thing. The way they handle Steppenwolf's backstory is so poor. They decided to tell us this rather than show us who he is. But in all honesty, that wouldn't have worked either way because, number 2, I don't care. I don't care about Steppenwolf. But I'll explain that later in another chapter. We go back to Barry Allen, aka The Flash, and we finally get a better glimpse of his personality and his powers.
People are difficult. They require a lot of focus. They have like a rhythm that I haven't quite been able to... Like brunch. Like, what is brunch? You wait in line for an hour for essentially lunch. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, he's annoying. Oh, you know, awkward dialogue. That's a funny in my book. Ooh, look how awkward he is. Relatable teen. The whole interaction between Bruce and the Flash is so fast, pun not intended, and doesn't flow very well. I don't know why they decided to make Barrick talk super fast and get through this whole scene as fast as possible. Is it because his superpowers are being fast? Huh? Because no joke, this scene lasts 2 minutes and it feels like 1. Wait, hold on, wait a minute. Is that unfinished CGI? Because if I remember correctly in BVS, Cyborg was only a torso with an arm and half a face. In this clip, it looks like he has half his legs and his face looks normal? And don't come at me with that, oh, the robot part healed him. No, it didn't. His face should be f***ed up and he shouldn't have legs or a dick with spandex over them. It should just be a torso. There should be no spandex over there because there is nothing to cover. So Wonder Woman goes to talk to Cyborg, but he just f***s off and says he should be hidden away because he doesn't understand what he is. Yeah, that old cliche. Oh yeah, Aquaman had a scene where he fought Steppenwolf, but it's so bland and forgettable, I legit forgot what even happened. Okay, now for some reason we have this kind of subplot where we constantly come back to this Russian family, and the movie tries to develop them and make the audience care for them, so that when the the parademons invade, we feel scared for them, but honestly, I don't care about them. Why the hell should I? Oh, look, it's a loving family. How sweet. Oh, look how cute their daughter is. I hope she doesn't die. I hope this family makes it out in the end. They legit have nothing to do with this movie. It's almost as if they were added in last minute for no reason whatsoever. Oh, wait! Ah, cheap and effective jump scare. Ooh.
I will take my place among the new gods.
Yay! More generic bad guy dialogue from the generic bad guy. How intriguing. Oh look, J.K. Simmons is Commissioner Gordon. I wonder if he'll have any awesome iconic scenes like he did in Spider-Man, or like Gary Oldman did in the Nolan Batman trilogy. So finally our heroes unite and... Oh, they're already gone. Great.
That's rude.
Now they're fighting Steppenwolf and it's boring. I don't feel any tension or fear in this scene. Okay, yo, can we talk about how useless Batman is in this movie? Everyone is doing something in this scene. Flash is saving people and fighting the bugs. Cyborg is fighting the bugs and Steppenwolf. Wonder Woman is fighting Steppenwolf. But Batman, throughout 90% of the sequence, is struggling to fight one bug dude. Just one! I mean, of course he can't beat this one bug dude. Look how pudgy he looks. He looks like a goddamn gummy bear.
Bruh, look at this dude. Wait till you see the... No. Look at the top of his head. Look at his lips.
Steppenwolf then blows up the wall, which is bad because they're all in the Gotham Harbor. They're about to get flooded and drowned, but then... Where the hell did you come from? Okay, y'all, let's just think about this logically for a second, okay? In order for this to happen, Aquaman would have to be on the other side of the wall, just waiting for it to blow up. What if the wall never blew up? He would have been just standing there looking like a total dumbass. He would have contributed nothing, and... oh god, my brain is hurting. They all go to the Batcave and study the mother box that Cyborg found. Bruce suggests that they should use it to bring Superman back to life, but Wonder Woman rightfully says it's a bad idea. Then Ben Affleck gives his Oscar-worthy performance.
We don't know what state he's in. We know we can't bring him back. Superman was a beacon to the world. Each of us in our own way is held back, and I promise you, Steppenwolf is not out there talking about ethics. He's trying to burn down the world. The way we're gonna stop him is by using his power, this power, against him.
But Ben Affleck's range of emotion is as extensive as a goddamn rock, so all of his delivery comes off as cheesy and forced. Doesn't matter though, because they just go ahead and bring Superman back to life. Woo! I wonder when they're not showing close-ups of Superman's face. So peculiar. They finally bring him back and... Oh my god! What happened to his lip? Okay. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. We'll get to that later too. So Superman fights the rest of the team and it all looks like shit. And just to prove my point even further of how useless Batman is, Batman literally gets thrown out like a rag doll and is out for the fight. He does nothing! And now we get the best sequence in the whole movie. Superman versus the Flash. Which is pretty well done, actually. The CG looks pretty good, and the scene is actually genuinely hilarious. But let me go back to this shit. Yo, remember when Batman said...
We're gonna bring in the big guns.
Yeah, well, guess what? It was Lois Lane. She was the backup plan. She's what snapped Superman out of his evil days.
Yeah, Lois is the key. Lois was the key. Wait a minute. Lois is the key.
Oh! See, it all comes back to BVS when Flash said Lois is the key. I bet everyone remember that. Oh, props to you, Snyder. You did a good one there.
The mother box. He has the last one.
Oh wait, hold on. Did they seriously just leave the mother box unattended? No one was guarding it? It was just out in the open begging to be taken! Okay, so now we know who to blame when the world inevitably ends. It was them. It's them. We should blame them. It's all their fault. Now we begin the traditional DC third act cluster. And it's probably the worst act I've ever seen in any movie, ever. Everything looks fake. It looks ugly as shit. The color palette is an eyesore. It's cheesy as hell, there aren't any stakes or tension, and I don't care about anyone! That's one of the biggest problems this movie has. I do not care about anyone or anything that happens in this film. The movie just wants you to feel the most basic emotions. You know, I'm not even going to bother with going in depth with the third act of this film, because it's so uneventful, uninteresting, and worst of all, predictable. We know that the bad guy is going to lose. We know that Superman's coming back to save his teammates and the rest of the world. We know that everyone's going to live happily ever after. And we know that stupid Russian family will be safe. We know these things. Once you get past how unoriginal and unspecial this film is, you realize that one of the film's biggest downfalls is the script. Oh, speaking of... the script. I was shocked to see that a writing credit went to Joss Whedon. What happened to you, man? There was a point in time, more specifically 2012, where Joss Whedon was killing the game. He brought us The Avengers and Cabin in the Woods, two great films, but I feel like after the shit stain that was Avengers Age of Ultron, you just never were the same. You were broken. Okay, it isn't completely Joss Whedon's fault that the script was shit. But don't worry, we'll talk about him plenty later. But the overall script is just a mess. Full of plot holes and conveniences and shitty dialogue and dumb cliches. It has everything you need to make a bad movie. I have no idea who they get to write these scripts for the DC movies, but I'm sorry, they need to be fired. Because basically what DC is left with are scripts that just pander to the lowest common denominator. They have weak stories and weak characters. That's also another problem. Every character is super weak. They all have that one thing that defines them and no more depth. Bruce feels bad for hating Superman and wants to redeem himself. That's it. Wonder Woman is hung up on her ex. That's it. Aquaman doesn't want the responsibility of being a king and prefers to be alone. That's it. The Flash is the funny one. That's it. Cyborg is the stoic one who doesn't understand what he is. That's it. And Superman, I don't even know what Superman is. He has no arc. None of them do. The script is just so lazy. Everything is just exposition, and not even good exposition. Everything is just explained to us in the laziest way possible.
The dialogue in this film is horrendous. This is some of the laziest, worst dialogue I've ever seen in any film. Okay, that's not true, but it's up there. It's up there with the worst. That the dialogue is just, it's spoon-fed to you. It's given to you. It's shoved down your throat. It's like the Lois Lane speech thing. That Joss Whedon, I'm sorry, but your dialogue is just so awful.
The only good moment I could find where it isn't blatantly told to us was this scene right here.
One at a time. The bridge me up. Hold.
This was actually a good moment. It shows that they don't know how to work as a team yet. They only do what they want when they want to. No teamwork and no trust. That's it. Other than that, everything is just explained to us through exposition and flashbacks. And no one is more guilty of this than the villain. Oh my god, the villain. The villain. Steppenwolf is hands down the worst, most bland, most forgettable, most generic supervillain I think I've ever seen in any superhero film ever. I seriously cannot remember a single thing about this dude besides his name. Seriously, I've watched this film about 5 times now, and I cannot for the life of me remember anything about him! Nothing! Seriously, the only development and backstory that was given to him was that he loves to conquer worlds and he went insane.
He lived only to conquer. Some say it drove him mad. The disgrace of his first retreat.
That's it! What is his motivation? Why does he want to conquer worlds? I mean, come on, you gotta give me something here. Do something fun with it. Make it a fetish. Make it that he gets off by destroying worlds and conquering people. Oh yeah, I'm gonna destroy this planet so hard. I'm gonna enslave these people so hard. Oh! I really start to hate that most of these villains in these dumb superhero movies are only bad just because they are. Marvel had a problem with their villains, like, for a long time, but they're getting a lot better. Let's compare Steppenwolf to Thanos. Thanos is a great villain. We understand why he wants to wipe out half the universe. We feel for him, not only to get his motivation, but we also like him as a character. A fleshed out insane guy who is willing to sacrifice all just to balance the universe so everyone can prosper peacefully. That's a great villain. Steppenwolf wants to destroy the world just because he felt like it. That's it! I've come to the conclusion that the only memorable thing about Steppenwolf is how forgettable he is. His motivation is that of Ronan the Accuser, his charm is that of Malekith, and his dialogue is as generic as Malekith and Ronan combined. Plus, he just looks generic too. There's no depth to his design or his costume. There's no backstory to why he looks like that. There's no depth to his design. He just looks like that for no reason. You can replace his design with the design of Ares from the Wonder Woman movie, and literally nothing would change at all. He's basically the template for lazy bad guy designs. Worst of all, not real. He's not really there. He's just imposed into the shot. Come to think of it, almost every shot in this film isn't real. There's not a single shot in this film that doesn't have a special effect in it. Which leads me to my next point. Oh my god, I'm getting bored. See what I mean? Alright, I'm gonna take a shit, so I'm just gonna leave my gun here and I'll be right back.